In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a WordPress plugin using the WP Plugin Creator custom GPT that I have created inside of ChatGPT. So what I want to do is I've actually got a website that has a couple of different issues with it. All of the posts on this website you can see have my name. This is not my website. This belongs to a friend of mine. Her name's Doreen Cumberford. I want the author to be her, not me. And when I go to these posts, they all start out with send us a text message because this was something that was imported from another site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prompt my custom GPT plugin creator to say that the plugin should change the name of the author of all the blog posts to be Doreen, who has a user ID of 6. And if the beginning of the blog post starts with send us a text message, which happens to link to this Twilio link, I want to delete this line and update the blog post to start with the next sentence and step through every single blog post on this site and make these 2 edits. So that's what I'm prompting ChatGPT to do for me. And it is going to go through and actually create some plugin code for me. This is a great use of AI because I have seen so many different situations where people have these specific things that they want done on their WordPress website. And this custom GPT that I created to write WordPress plugins does a really good job. So you can see it writes all of the code for me and it tells me what to do. So I'm going to copy this code and I am then going to create a new document and just paste all that code into this. I'm going to update this to have my name just so that I know where it came from. And I am going to look at what ChatGPT said that I should name it, which update post plugin.php. That'll work. So I'm going to copy that. And I am going to save this in a folder that I have called custom plugins. And I'm going to put that in a new subfolder, which is going to be update blog posts. And I'm going to name it update post plugin.php and save that. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I actually want to go to my file folder and I'm going to open that file location. I am going to right click on this and compress it to a zip file and just press enter. So I now have the zip file. I'm now going to go back to Doreen's website. I'm going to add a new plugin. I'm going to upload the plugin that I just created, which is going to be under custom plugins, update blog posts, and here's the zip file. I install the plugin. Sometimes when you do this, the plugin does not work the first time. And what's great is you can then go back and ask it to make some changes to your plugin code. I'm going to go ahead and click on Activate Plugin. And let's go back to ChatGPT and says steps to use. So I activate the plugin and it automatically will execute, it says. So that's the reason why this took a minute to activate. So let's go back to our post and take a look. And sure enough, it did update all these to Doreen. Let's just pick a random blog post. It still says send us a text message. So this is something that where we may need to go in and work with this. So we tell it the plugin did update the author. So we can now remove that functionality. But, and let's look and see if all of them are that way or if it's just the one before we tell it. We'll just pick a different one. Yeah, it's still starting with that. And actually, let's give it all of the code. But all of the blog posts still start with I want to delete that sentence and start with the second sentence. And let's tell it that we actually want a user interface rather than having it execute automatically. That way I know it did something. So this is part of the iterative process that happens when you are creating custom code with an AI. And really, when you're doing anything with an AI, you're chatting with it in order to get the output that you want. In this case, it happens to be PHP code for a WordPress plugin. So that now there's a new menu item, remove text message. Okay, so let's copy this code. Let's go back to this. Let's overwrite everything. Put my name in one more time. Let's save this. Let's delete our current zip file. Refresh the page and compress this to a zip file. We will go back to our plugins. We're going to add a new plugin. which is the same plugin that we had before, update posts. And now when we install it, it's going to come back and say, do you want to replace the current with the uploaded? Yes, we do. Okay, and now there should be, what this is telling us, a remove text message in the admin menu. And I don't know where that is. I'm not seeing it, so I'm going to do a search. Remove. Oh, there it is. Remove text message. Start process. Okay, what we probably want to do if we're actually building this plugin out is when it's done, have it come back and say, I'm finished. But let's take a look at our posts. We'll click on one of them. And it still didn't take it out. Let's look at some of these other posts. Yeah, it's still not taking it out. So we try one more time. The plugin still isn't deleting the first sentence. Every blog post continues to start with send us a text message. Okay, now the final thing that I'm going to do is just so that I don't have to keep changing this is the author of the plugin is Greg Jameson. All right, so now it's version 1.2 and I put my name in there. So if we have to keep updating things, I don't have to keep retyping things. And it writes its code. So even if you don't really know how to code, if you know how to work a WordPress plugin, you can use this. The other thing that you'll notice is it does a pretty good job of actually commenting the code. After processing, the plugin appends a question mark done equal 1 parameter to the URL. I'm not sure if that's exactly got what I wanted, but maybe it did. So let's just give it a shot. We're going to copy that code. We are going to paste this over the top of the previous code. We are going to save it. We are going to delete the zip file. We will compress this to a new zip file. we will upload a new plugin by the same name. And we are going to replace the current. And we are going to remove text message, which says I can't access it. Once again, we, in this case, are having an issue with the plugin, so we're going to have to go back and fix the plugin. As you can see, this is an iterative process to actually get this to work. Okay, so it took a couple more tries to get ChatGPT to give us some code that actually worked. The process is the same as you saw. And now when I look at any one of these blog posts, that first sentence has in fact been removed. And I can look at the individual blog post. It did not update the date for me, which is what I wanted. I just wanted it to change the name and to remove that first sentence. So the plugin now works. And if this is a one-time plugin like this was, then I can actually go to my plugins and find that plugin that I just created, which was the remove uh, specific text from blog posts. I can deactivate it and I can remove it from the website. And that way you can actually just have these kind of one time plugins, or you can create plugins that are going to do a specific thing for you on an ongoing basis.